front of this passionate Irish crowd. Certainly not the senior day that Darren Mabry imagined, walking out on crutches, but still an emotional ceremony. And now we'll see how the teams fare. The only meeting of the regular season between Georgia Tech and Notre Dame. Jackets in gray, the Irish in white. Georgia Tech basketball as we get underway. Tremendous doubleheader we've got for you tonight. Cam Swartz puts the Jackets in front early.
And that's what Georgia Tech needs to do. Try and quiet this crowd down a bit. They are really amped up. It's senior day or senior night. And Notre Dame is playing, trying to get another home victory in front of this home crowd.
Inside to Ebo, and in and out goes her lefty hook. Rebounded by Aisha Won-Adanaz. Georgia Tech has been pesky, especially over the last month. Fallon, you've seen them play a bunch. This is a team that has absolutely improved under the direction of Nell Fortner.
They have.
And it's a 4-0 lead for the visitors from Atlanta. Blackshear gets her first bucket.
And, you know, like Coach Fortner said, I mean, they really have nothing to lose. It's really, she's impressed to see her underclassmen like Blackshear, like Tony Morgan, and Kara Dunn, who've stepped up to see what the future may be for Georgia Tech.
Miles misses her first shot, but it's rebounded by her classmate Citron. Citron's entry pass knocked away and stolen by Swartz.
And that's great defensive intensity early. Tony Morgan, very quick guard, can get deflections, can get steals, and we just saw it on that last defensive possession for Georgia Tech.
Nice move on the dribble, beautifully done. It's Kara Dunn and a 6-0 lead for the Jackets.
I'm telling you, so far in this game, you see Kara Dunn just continuing where she left off the last game, and she is aggressive early in this one.
She's 22 of her last 28 from two-point range over the last 3+ games. Kylee Watson misses her first shot. And we get a travel on Georgia Tech, the game's first turnover, as we take a look at the Toyota starting lineup. Swartz, Morgan, Dunn, Adanaz, and Blackshear for Nell Fortner. In her 4th season, 71 and 45 double-digit ACC wins each of the past 3 years for Nell. And Notre Dame with Lauren Ebo in the starting 5 for just the 2nd time this season for Niele Ivey. Ebo rebounds the Citron miss. She's certainly got the size mismatch on Adanaz, but that doesn't matter. Pretty good defense, pretty good rebound. The shutout continues for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that was good defense by Won-Adanaz. Big task to go against Ebo, and then she scores a bucket.
8-0 Jackets. Timeout, Niele Ivey.
Yeah, Coach Ivey does not like what she's seeing to start this one. The emotions of senior night really catching up.
4 different Jackets have scored in the first 2.5 minutes. Coaches always worry, how will a team handle the emotions of senior day? Irish down 8-0 early.
Opportunity in drafting her into the WNBA, and she said she had just had her son Jaden, so that was a huge transition, and she understood the work-life balance of being a professional athlete and a mother, and she always will appreciate that from Coach Fortner.
Quickly, the Irish go inside to Watson, and Kylee picks up where she left off the last few games. She's averaging 14 per game over her last 3.
And I know Notre Dame's happy to see a basket finally fall for them early in this game. Georgia Tech has been lights out. Not a good shot by Swartz on that last one. But Georgia Tech has been letting it fly, and they've been scoring early in this one.
Swartz was like, did a gust of wind just come through the building? Because it was windy today here in South Bend. And no, she was just wide right. Missed that one by a good bit. Citron attacking down the alley and scores off the glass.
And that's what Sonia Citron can do, especially since Mabry went down. Her scoring has gone up, and she's been more aggressive on the offensive end for Notre Dame.
Entry feed deflected by Kassan Prosper. The Canadian freshman creates the steal. Miles back outside for Maddy Westbeld. Almost called her Cat Westbeld. There have been a lot of sister legacies here in South Bend.
Right.
In recent memory. And Inside going glass. Westbeld gets 2. 6 straight for Notre Dame.
And that's what Westbeld can do. She is great around the glass, getting offensive rebounds or in putbacks, but a nice pass and finish by Westbeld on that last possession.
Neil Ivey delivered a message to wake this team up during that timeout.
She sure did. She didn't like what she saw the first 5 minutes of this game, and they have really picked it up since that timeout.
Swartz closer, but still no good. Miles the rebound, leading the break. Always head up on the dribble. Sets up Prosper. And Won Adanaz with a rebound. Prosper, a substitution at the timeout call, replacing Ebo. Pretty good defense inside on Blackshear.
Great
Somehow,
defense.
Kayla gets it back.
Yeah, Georgia Tech very fortunate, but great rotations. That was man-to-man defense that Notre Dame's playing, and Prosper did a great job rotating to get that block against Blackshear.
Tony Morgan with the clock winding down finds Adanaz. And rebounding foul on Georgia Tech. They got Blackshear over the back on Miles.
And we know Olivia Miles is a great rebounding guard, leads this team in rebounding. And she was trying to get her positioning. Blackshear reaches over her and pushes her in the back, right in front of the ref. Easy call to make.
Marshall's in the game for Notre Dame, replacing Watson. I beg your pardon, replacing Westbeld. Watson's still out there. Miles from the deep elbow knocks it in.
And that is her spot, her range. You don't want to leave her wide open. She'll knock that down. Nothing but net on that shot.
Dueling 8-0 runs in the first 5-10 of this ball game.
And that's what Georgia Tech cannot allow. They can't allow Notre Dame to go on these runs.
Coach talked about transition defense. Coach Fortner. Miles missed the layup. Marshall on the glass, no good. And the Jackets dodged a bullet there, a couple of them.
They did. That was a chippy that Miles missed, going coast to coast.
Heck of a drive and a finish from Morgan.
And I think Tony Morgan just showed how you should do it with that nice finish with the lefty freshman with the finish.
And now all 5 Georgia Tech starters have scored 2 points apiece. In and out for Citron. Irish 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Dunn in transition. Miles went straight up, defended it well.
She did. Great job by Olivia Miles to get back and alter that shot by Dunn.
Miles off balance, scores off the glass anyway.
Well, she made up for that last miss, and you know Olivia Miles is not going to miss too many. Nice finish by the sophomore.
Jump ball tie-up, go back to Notre Dame. She's just so crafty and creative on the break.
She is. She's so shifty, so you can't really play her one way or another, but a great finisher at the rim. We see it right there. Could have easily almost, no real contact, but she was able to finish and alter that shot. Nice move by Olivia Miles.
Technically, she's just a sophomore.
Yeah.
Her 3rd year at Notre Dame. Joined midway through that pandemic year a couple seasons ago.
Great
Rebounded
box
by
out.
Swartz,
Great
yeah.
box out by Swartz.
Tony Morgan, the freshman from Tallahassee, gaining confidence as the season's progressed. Rebound last touch by Notre Dame. It'll be Tech ball. What have you seen from Morgan as a young guard in Atlanta?
Oh, she is just very talented and athletic. I mean, she's learning the point guard position as she goes, and that's a tough task as a freshman to lead a team as a point guard. But defensively, her steals, her rebounding ability, and she can score it. So I think Coach Fortner's so high on her. The sky is the limit. Very talented guard for Georgia Tech.
Kayla Blackshear with her 2nd bucket. 2-point lead for Georgia Tech. KK Bransford just checked into the game for Notre Dame for the first time. Ebo is also back out there.
Just like I said, she is quick and gets those hands. She'll get in the passing lanes. Great job by Tony Morgan to get that deflection and cause a turnover.
Neil Ivey, her 3rd year at Notre Dame. Obviously was a great player here in South Bend, an assistant under Muffet McGraw. 2 years ago, 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 2 Swartz, the BC transfer, fires up her second air ball of the quarter. Miles, the vision finding Citron. And the rebound ripped down by Morgan ahead. That pass too far in front of Jackson, but it was last touched by Notre Dame. It'll stay with Tech.
Yeah, that pass got past Jackson, but it was a good look by Tony Morgan trying to get her out on the break for the easy lay-in. Just couldn't get the basketball.
Before the ball was inbounded, Tiara Cruz has a foul on Miles, I think. Yep, number 1 on Olivia.
And that's a player that I'm sure Coach Ivey does not want in foul trouble. They need her on the court.
Swartz inside the arc, still missed everything. Yikes.
Yeah, she is off on her last 3 shots, and that was defended pretty well by Citron running out to defend that shot. But she probably needs to sit for a minute, gather herself, readjust.
When you hit your first shot like Cam Swartz did, you usually feel like you're going to have a night.
Right. It was nothing but net on the first one.
She's now 1 for 5. Good position for Bransford, and another deuce to tie the game for Notre Dame.
KK Bransford, I mean, she is a freshman that doesn't play like a freshman. I mean, the last game, I think, against Pitt, she got a steal in that game, and it gave Notre Dame the momentum to just keep going, and they won that game easily. But she is a good freshman for Notre Dame in this team and gives them good, solid minutes.
Notre Dame beat Pittsburgh by 40 on Sunday in Pittsburgh. After the Panthers played the Irish really close here at the Joyce Center not long before. Morgan's 3 and out. Rebound pulled down by Kylee Watson. Miles thought about the 3, says I'll take the 2.
I mean, that just looked too easy. She walked into the lane with that, but she is like A+ on her dribbling abilities. She can make anything look easy.
First lead for Notre Dame after they trailed 8-0. Georgia Tech coming off a loss in Tallahassee. They lost by 14. It was a game, though, that Coach Fortner felt pretty good about. Thought the Seminoles just blasted them in Atlanta. Georgia Tech really fought hard down at the Tucker Center on Sunday.
They did. And
oh, what a pass again by Miles.
I mean, his eyes on the side of her face, back of her head. I don't know how she saw KK Bransford, but threw a dime pass for an easy lay-in. Easy 2 for Bransford.
Second assist for Miles to go along with 6 points and 5 rebounds in the first quarter. As I've said before, when she laces up the sneakers, the triple-double watch begins.
It does. It does. I mean, she's close to averaging a triple-double.
Morgan kicks it. Done. Nice pass. Adonis missed it.
And these are the droughts, like you said, against FSU. They played them well, Georgia Tech did, but went 6 minutes without a basket, and that's what Georgia Tech cannot do, especially against Notre Dame. They can't have these scoring droughts. They have to continue to be aggressive and find ways to score the basketball.
Game clock and shot clock just about in sync here. Miles, again, just toying with the defense, really. Missed the shot, but the rebound for Watson, and she's fouled with 4.4 on the clock.
I mean, Olivia Miles just dances with it, gets the ball on the rim, doesn't finish the shot this time, but gives her teammates an opportunity to get the offensive rebound. And now we see Watson at the free throw line right here on 2 defenders misses, but Watson was right there to try and clean it up.
Second foul on Blackshear as well. Only 2 fouls called on Tech in the quarter, but both on Blackshear. Played 38 minutes down in Tallahassee on Sunday. One of 2 for Watson. Jackets have 4 seconds. Kayla Dunn in no particular hurry. And that did not end well for Georgia Tech. It started well. They led 8-0. 2.5 minutes into the game. But you can do the math, Fallon. Since then, all Irish. A 17-4 run for the 10th ranked team in the land that has an ACC regular season title in its...
It looks like, because she brings so much to the table as a facilitator for the Irish.
Technically just a sophomore, but she is 1 point away from number 900 in her career. Sitting at 8.99 as the second quarter begins.
It's a lot of points.
Bianca Jackson scored quite a few points in her career, and a good tip back in by Georgia Tech on the glass.
Yeah, Kara Dunn with that one. We see the athleticism that freshman has, and she goes and skies for that and is able to get the putback while in the air.
Nell Fortner saying today that she really thinks this summer is going to be huge for Kara Dunn. Sonia Citron has made some strides since her freshman year as well, the sophomore from East Chester, New York, with her second basket.
She has. And she's a quiet player, unassuming, but she leaves her handprint on a game. When you look at the box score, you won't even know the points, rebounds, or steals that she's had, but she is impressive.
Carter missed the three. Citron playing her 60th game as a member of the Fighting Irish here tonight. Pretty good look. Jenna Brown can't knock it in. Now, she made a three.
She did. At
Pittsburgh on Sunday. It was her first three in a college game in about 1,108 days, as a friendly roll benefits Won Adanaz and brings the Jackets back within three. Before Sunday, Jenna Brown had last made a three-pointer all the way back on February 7th, 2020, in a game between Stanford and UCLA.
Wow. And the transfer from Stanford, I mean, that's what Coach Ivey was really impressed with what she did. Big time play.
Watson and one.
Big finish from the corner against Hermosa. She has that. Won Adanaz. Let's see the replay. It was against Hermosa, and she definitely has the speed advantage against her. Gets to the basket pretty easily, Watson does. We're going back to Brown, the showing that she had against Pitt. Hadn't played a lot of minutes this season, but she had a big showing in 19 minutes with 9 points, and like you said, hit a three in that game off the bench for Notre Dame.
And it's not like she's missed a gazillion threes in the last 1,100 days. She hasn't gotten to play that much.
Right.
Bothered by multiple injuries that cost multiple seasons. Friendly roll for Kylee Watson to complete the three-point play. Irish stretch the lead to 6. It's amazing how since that timeout with 7:34 to go in the first quarter, just the Irish flipped the switch from an intensity perspective.
I mean, senior day is emotional when you see one of your teammates not even able to suit up on senior day.
Nice pass by Dunn, and Nerea Hermosa, the veteran post, scores inside.
It's a good play by Tech, but it just takes, you know, time for the emotions to get set aside, and now it seems like Notre Dame's just ready to go.
Westbeld began tonight just 21 points away from 1,000 in her career. Sets a screen for Miles, back up top for Brown. Jenna Brown in and out on the glass. Watson, no, and Hermosa has the rebound.
Wow, and Watson got there quickly for that rebound and just couldn't finish.
The Irish have missed a few close ones.
Notre Dame in the zone defense.
Corner three to bust the zone would not fall for Kara Dunn. Westbeld, tough catch, lefty finish, nope. Rebound finds her though. Back outside for Miles. And a shot clock situation. Should have set to 20. It's currently at 28. So they'll put it at 18 and we will play on after the subs. Bransford and Ebo are back for Notre Dame.
Yeah, early in this one, there's been a lot of chippies that Notre Dame has missed at the rim. Fortunately, they were able to get the offensive rebound back and reset their offense.
Ebo, pretty good position. Nothing Hermosa could do.
Nothing. It was just too deep. Once Ebo got that position in, she just needed the basketball and got it high off the glass.
So Ebo, the 6th different Irish to score. 6 different Yellow Jackets have scored already as well. Balanced distribution from a scoring standpoint for both sides. Pretty good trap in the corner.
And that can't happen. Cameron Swartz, when she was trying to cut the baseline, basically her man just left to defend Hermosa on that double team. And that was just too easy. You see Watson just stays put and doubles or Mosa, and that's tough to get locked up in that corner. You never want to get locked in a corner.
Tech fortunate to have the ball, although they quickly throw it away, and then Citron gets hip checked by Dunn on her way up the floor. That was a hockey maneuver.
That was. And, you know, those players are very similar body structures, very athletic. Fortunately, Citron is fine and is able to get right back up. But that was going to be a fast break opportunity if Citron got the basketball, where she was going straight to the basket or the rim.
Officials Mark Resch and Tierra Cruz are conversing. Not entirely sure about what. Currently the shot clock shows 12 seconds, but it should be 30 because the ball was just intercepted and then there was a foul.
Yeah, got to get these people right on the shot clock. Make sure that everything's in line.
Now it's back to 28. Looked like they were going to inbound the ball and it hadn't reset yet. The fans were getting a little leery.
Right.
As fans can be. Citron for three.
Can't do that. You have to get out on Citron. She is very efficient from behind the arc as a scorer, shooting 50% from the field and 45 from behind the three-point line.
The first three of the ball game for either side after 11 attempts.
Notre Dame back in this zone, trying to keep Georgia Tech out of the lane. Kira Dunn says no.
She gets to her spot anyway. Confidence has grown for Kara Dunn. And she missed a three a couple of possessions ago, but from two-point range over the last couple weeks, she has been unbelievably efficient.
Very efficient, and it hasn't just been layups, it's been all over the court.
Right. Tough shot for Ebo, well defended by Hermosa. Here's Swartz the other way, ahead to Dunn. I'm surprised she didn't go at Miles there, playing with the one foul.
Right.
The game changes significantly if Miles picks up her second midway through the second quarter. Instead, Kara Dunn says, I'll take a three.
Right.
And it's the first Georgia Tech triple of the night.
Let's just reset, slow it down a bit, and I'll get open in the corner for the three. Kara Dunn knocks it down.
In the lane, Bransford for two.
I really like Bransford. I mean, she's always in the right spot, active, but a great offensive rebound to get that putback.
There have been a couple instances in this quarter where it has felt like Notre Dame might extend the lead to double digits. Georgia Tech has hit enough shots and gotten enough offensive rebounds to prevent that from happening.
They have.
And the Jackets are hanging around. Foul called on Notre Dame on the rebound action. It's on Watson, her first. And we'll get ourselves a timeout. 4:14 to go. Three-point line is open. Citron for Notre Dame. Dunn answers for Tech. We got a 6-point game. ACC basketball is brought to you by John Foy and Associates, the strong arm. And by the Fresh Market, voted #1 best supermarket in America. There were not too many dry eyes when Dara Mabry walked out in crutches for the senior day ceremony, sharing a snuggle with Lauren Ebo. Niele Ivey has such affection for both these women. She said Lauren Ebo was, from the first time they ever conversed, thought she would be a perfect fit. And Dara Mabry, she praised her unbelievable loyalty, her belief, her passion, her leadership. The Mabry legacy at Notre Dame will last forever.
It will, and it was sad to see Mabry come out on the court on crutches. I mean, I like the puppies for her arm support. That was very cute and adorable, but she is a leader, such a leader for this team, and I know Coach Ivey is so happy to still have her on the bench to be a part of this team and experience. I mean, she said when she brought the recruits in Miles and Citron here, Mabry was one of those recruits also in her first season that she got here from Virginia Tech. So a lot of emotion for this game, but Notre Dame, they're playing for their seniors tonight.
Can only imagine imagine how stressful and hard it is to watch your teammates from the bench. The lollipop has to help soothe the emotions a little bit. Pretty good defensive possession, and a buzzer-beating 3 would not fall for Morgan. Notre Dame by 6. 3:45 remaining in this first half. If Notre Dame wins today and wins at the Yum Center on Sunday, the Irish would at the very least share the ACC regular season title with Duke. Miles missed a shot. Great hustle for the rebound. Marshall unable to secure it. Out of bounds off Notre Dame. It'll be Jackets basketball.
And that was some big time hustle, like you said, from Marshall for Notre Dame. But we're gonna
take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by our local Ford dealer.
Yeah, so for Georgia Tech transition defense, it needs to be on point, and we see it so far today. No fast break points early in this game for Notre Dame. And for Notre Dame, they have to know their defensive rotations, have defensive intensity. We've seen it where they had to claw back from being down 8-0 and rebound the basketball. They are already the top team, or one of the top teams, second in the ACC in rebounding this season.
Travel called on Cara Dunn after Swartz found her on the baseline. Fifth turnover of the half for Georgia Tech. Notre Dame's only had 2 turnovers. Nearly number 3 right there.
Right. Great job by Olivia Miles to put her body after that deflection by Morgan.
Miles finds her spot, doesn't get the bounce though. Hermosa has been active off the bench. And what do we got here? Timeout taken by Georgia Tech. Cara Dunn a little shaken up. She kind of hobbles back to the Jackets bench.
Yeah, she goes straight to the bench. Her knee.
Well, Nell Fortner obviously has a long history with Niele Ivey. And, you know, this is the only regular season meeting between Nell and Niele. And I was curious the origins of each of their names. Nell was named after her grandmother, whose name was Neola, but they all called her Nell. And Nell was still alive when Nell Fortner was born, so they had a relationship growing up. Nell means shining light or a bright shining one.
Oh, nice.
Now, Niele Ivey wasn't totally sure where the name Niele came from. She said her mom was at a party and someone from Czechoslovakia shared a list of a bunch of uncommon names, and Niele was the name that her mom gravitated to.
I like it.
Niele comes from Lithuanian origin, means spring flower.
Oh, nice.
Now, of course, I had to look up the name Fallon, and the Irish origin, Fallon means superior or descended from a ruler. So I am treading lightly sitting aside you tonight.
Yeah, my mother's story, not so great. She used to watch the show Dynasty back in the day, and she pulled it from that show.
Well, you are a leader. And there's a good finish inside for Marshall.
And Marshall has been active ever since she entered the lineup for Notre Dame. Really has been intense. Great putback by her on the offensive end.
Have you ever met another Nell or Niele besides Coach Fortner or Coach Ivey?
I have not. I have not. Those are rare names, and especially when you have one. But we see this nice setup. Marshall able to give a nice head fake and go up straight up for the finish.
Nice move by Morgan.
And she makes it look easy. She knows she can dance with it a little bit too. Olivia Miles is not the only one who could be a little hezzy, shaky to finish to the basket.
Miles going baseline. Morgan with clean block to slap it out of bounds. Still 16 to shoot for Notre Dame.
And I like this battle. Toni Morgan's up for the challenge. She knows that the task of defending Olivia Miles is not an easy one, but so far she has played her pretty well.
Into Ebo. And away from the ball. They get a foul on Georgia Tech. It's on Won Adanaz, and that's her second. So 2 on Adanaz and 2 on Blackshear. And here comes Carmen Harrison, who did not play on Sunday in Tallahassee. Averages 5 minutes a game off the bench. She'll get some first half minutes today with Blackshear and Ananaz, each with 2 personals. Citron too strong. Rebound pulled down by Bianca Jackson.
And Jackson can handle the point guard responsibilities as well. Gives Toni Morgan a break when she's in the lineup. But they're trying to set something up in their offensive set. Something off a screen on ball to the basket.
Swartz trying to rediscover the range. That'll work.
That was a tough shot. I'm not sure if she knew or Mosa knew what they were trying to do, but she makes it look easy with that baseline J and finish.
After trailing by as many as 9, Georgia Tech back within 4. Westbeld, high-low game with Ebo. Rebound out of bounds. It'll stay with the Irish. And they'll put the shot clock at 20. So 10.8 the differential game shot clock.
And that was a good job. Georgia Tech trying to get a hand on it and rebound. Prosper gets in it.
Last raised by Morgan. Ebo gets 2 with the left hand.
You cannot allow Lauren Ebo to get that deep if you're Georgia Tech. If she gets positioning, it's an easy bucket.
Shot clock is off. Toni Morgan wanting a dance with Olivia Miles. Gets a little screen, flips it to the corner. Swartz fumbles it away, recovers, and doesn't get the shot off.
Good defense by Notre Dame to end the quarter, making Cameron Swartz shoot a difficult shot to try and score before the half.
Couple of buzzer-beating final possessions of quarters that leave something to be desired for Georgia Tech.
It does. There's a lot of chippies around the rim that they missed. Like we said, Olivia Miles made some nice passes, or it was some nice setups that her teammates just couldn't finish, but I think that could be the difference in this second half. If they can finish those easy looks they get in the paint.
Same starting 5 for Notre Dame in the second half, including Ebo, who made just her second start of the season tonight on senior night. And a quick chance for a 3-point play. Sonia Citron, that didn't take long.
It didn't. I mean, like I said, if she's ready to score, she can score in bunches. First half, we saw her hit a big 3, but she was pretty quiet offensively. But gets going. Maybe Coach Ivey had a few words with her at halftime, but is aggressive going to the basket and gets the and one.
Unable to convert the free throw. Feel a little bad for Cameron Swartz. She got drilled by Ebo on the screen and then trying to recover. Just didn't really have a chance and was called for the foul with the body. Still a little dazed by running into Ebo on the screen. Quick answer though, Blackshear.
I like Blackshear's shot. She has that baseline mid-range down, and if left open, she'll knock that shot down.
Coming off 10.7 rebounds, Tallahassee on Sunday. Entry feed intercepted. Bianca Jackson gets the start in the second half, comes up with a steal, sets up the 3 for Swartz, and the rebound for Westbeld. Relatively quiet first half for Westbeld, just 1 of 2 from the field. Nice move by Watson.
Her footwork on her post moves tonight have been incredible. That was a quick move by Watson, a nice finish.
Kylie's got 8 points and 6 rebounds. And a push going against Notre Dame's Watson. It's her second.
I think she was playing just as fast on the defensive end as she was playing on the offensive end on that last move. Trying to run through Jackson's screen, but Jackson maintained and held her ground and gets the foul call.
It's me another foul. Bianca Jackson reacted, and Tierra Cruz in the baseline bought it. Collision with Westbeld. The foul's on Maddy.
And Westbeld still looking like, what did I do? But Jackson ran into a brick wall and couldn't move, and good acting job to get the ref's attention to get that foul.
Jackson keeps it moving. Morgan Jackson to Swartz in the corner. Offensive rebound by Blackshear to create a fresh possession. Morgan, not much on that kick-out pass. Westbeld the steal and the score.
And Westbeld is capable of doing that. Swartz has had some good looks at three and just can't knock them down.
For the first time tonight, Notre Dame leads by double digits, and Nell Fortner takes a timeout. The game had been teetering on a double-digit lead, and we finally reached that point less than 2 minutes into the second half.
It's bow time.
What's that?
The Bojangler from Bojangle.
Westbeld and the Irish up by 10, 8:08 to play in the third quarter. And it's time to take a look at today's Protecting the Paint, brought to you by CPI Security. For the Irish, defense leading to offense.
It was, and we talked about transition defense. This was the first fast break point Notre Dame was able to get all game, and you can't have those live ball turnovers, turning Morgan, trying to make a play and get it back to Swartz. But it was great anticipation by Westbeld. She was right there, anticipating, ready for it, and finishes at the rim.
Blackshear playing with 2 fouls, not wanting to pick up a cheap third right there on the 3-on-1. 5 steals in the game now for Notre Dame. Irish, one of the top scoring teams in the ACC. Also one of the top defensive teams in the league. Obviously, they're one of the best teams in the league, one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Coach Ivey, she praises herself on, trying to tell her team she wants to hold the opponents below their scoring average, and they've done that a lot this season. I mean, it's only been one game this season that Notre Dame has lost when they've held their opponent to under 60 points, and that was against Duke.
Yeah. And even after that game, Niele Ivey did a great job, I thought, setting the tone. There was no despair in her voice at the post-game press conference following that loss to Duke. It was, this is part of the journey. We're going to learn from this. There were shots that we could have made. And it was very much forward thinking. Frankly, more mature than I would be after a home loss in a game that mattered that much.
Well, I just think it's just her youthfulness and how she coaches this group. She has the experience as a former player herself to understand that sometimes it's not about yelling, screaming, trying to tell your team what they didn't do in a loss. It's always trying to find and look at the bigger picture in those situations, and that's exactly what Coach Ivey does and why Notre Dame is so good.
Irish now up a dozen. Kylee Watson becomes the first player in the game in double figures. Kylee Watson, 10 points, double figures for the 8th time this season, including 3 the last 4 games, and an important answer there from Bianca Jackson.
It was, and that was needed. Georgia Tech in a scoring drought to start the second half, but a nice finish by Jackson.
41-31, 6:45 to play in this third quarter. Watson tapped that rebound across the sideline. It'll be Georgia Tech ball.
You know, Watson is extremely active for this game, getting deflections, getting to her spot, already in double figures, like you said. Tried to tip that basketball to Miles, but just hit it a little too hard.
Notre Dame allowed just 43 points, full 40 minutes on Sunday in Pittsburgh. Oregon's 3 too strong. Westbeld grabs another rebound. She's got such good hands.
She does. And it looks like balance, too, as she toed that baseline.
Short jumper would not fall for KK Bransford. Georgia Tech is scoring virtually the same amount of points as they were a year ago. Right around 60, 61, 62 a game. It's the defense that has dropped off for the Yellow Jackets. Last year they averaged fewer than 53 points a game. This year it's around 62 points a game, and therein lies the difference in the season. They have lost a little bit of that kind of trademark Georgia Tech flair under Nell Fortner, but of course they also lost Lorella Kubai and Lodamai Lotman, and there's a correlation there.
Yeah, those were some big players for Georgia Tech a season ago, especially Lorella Kubai was so dominant, took a lot of the pressure off her Armosa defensively with her shot blocking capabilities. But Georgia Tech just needs time. They have a good young bunch, and I think the future is bright.
Ebo there for the stick back. Excuse me, Fallon. Yeah, I mean, certainly with the emergence of Morgan and Dunn, what they've done down the stretch. Inez Norero remains out, but she's another talented young player.
She is.
Kayla Blackshear's growth as the season has progressed. Nice pass, Bransford the finish.
That was a nice pass. It's like Olivia Miles saw it as soon as she crossed half court, and KK Bransford knew where to go.
Miles picks the pocket of Morgan, and that's a little welcome to the ACC freshman move there from Olivia Miles.
I'm telling you, you don't want to wake up the bear, and it seems like the bear is awake with that steal from Olivia Miles.
All of a sudden, Fallon, it's a 16-point game, and Nell Fortner takes another timeout. It's a 12-2 run over the last 4 minutes. Miles with so many tricks up her sleeve, doing it again for the Fighting Irish.
There's only one thing better than...
Largest lead of the night for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Olivia Miles creating offense with brilliant vision, and then defensive anticipation leading to easy offense in transition. Notre Dame proven right now here in South Bend.
Oh, they are, and Notre Dame has it going on all cylinders. They are clicking, and Olivia Miles is the facilitator. We see this dime pass to KK Bransford on that last possession, but once she got this steal, this just woke the bear. And we talked about Georgia Tech getting back on defense for transition, but that basket right there, I think, has awakened Notre Dame.
To our Coyote Tractor turning point, you know, we talk a lot about vision in terms of passing, but Olivia Miles' vision also goes for her defense. She averages better than
in the ACC in steals as well in that category. So, like I said, she's just an all-around player. She can score it, she can distribute it, and she can defend.
Bianca Jackson with an important basket for Georgia Tech. Their second three of the night in 14 tries to cut the deficit to 13.
Yeah, calm, cool, and collective on that release. Big-time three by Jackson.
5 points for Bianca. 10 to shoot for Notre Dame. Watson, Bransford, Ebo, Miles, and Prosper, the 5 on the floor. Ebo catches with 2, and she didn't get it off. And Nell Fortner and the Jackets bench applauds the defensive effort there.
That is something they need after the Jackson 3 and that defensive stop. That was big for Georgia Tech. They need to get some energy going to see if they can score some more points. Right now being held to single digits at about 7 in the third quarter.
Just the 4th turnover of the night for a Notre Dame team that averages about 15.5 turnovers per game. Blackshear, one dribble, shot won't fall, and a good rebound by Kylee Watson. Her 7th rebound of the night to go along with 10 points. Kylee could be on her way to a double-double. Westbeld for 3. Why not?
Miss consistent. She can score from all over the floor, but when she's knocking down threes, that's a good thing for Notre Dame.
She hit multiple threes on Sunday at Pittsburgh for the 6th time this season. It's her first 3 of the night this evening. More defense perhaps leading to offense. Miles like a blur to the bucket.
I mean, what do you do with that? It seemed like Jackson was right with her, and then Miles just puts on another gear and goes straight to the basket like a rocket.
Notre Dame 5 for its last 5 from the floor. Lead up to 18. Good trap in the corner leads to another Olivia Miles steal. Numbers for Notre Dame. And Miles turns it back over. Good anticipation from Tony Morgan there.
That was a good job by Morgan. Way to get back by Blackshear so she could get the steal.
Morgan going baseline, kicks it to the corner, right off Jackson's hands. Out of bounds to Notre Dame.
And that's tough. Jackson would have had an open look, took her eye off it for a split second. She knows it. She's frustrated a little bit. But Georgia Tech has to get right back up, get on defense, and try and get a stop.
10 turnovers for the Yellow Jackets. They also average, like Notre Dame, right around 15 and a half turnovers per game. Westbeld flips it inside. Somehow it gets there. And it's a chance for three for Kassan Prosper.
I mean, that was a pass by Westbeld, and Prosper had good positioning, but she threaded a needle. I don't even know how she got that between Swartz and Hermosa. And then Prosper's able to draw the foul, get the and one, but that was a great zip pass, or a little lob pass. It was just soft enough for Prosper to gather herself and catch it, and was able to finish.
One of those passes that I think if Hermosa had seen it coming, she might have been able to jump and deflect it. Her hand was up there, but she was not looking, and by the time she turned around, it was like in slow motion, just out of her reach.
Right.
Under 2 to play here in the third. Lead has widened to 21. Carter missed it. Miles with her 7th rebound. This plays with such swagger, such confidence. Missed the shot, rebound, popcorns around, and it'll be a jump ball tie-up. And the arrow belongs to the Yellow Jackets. The 2 number 15s getting tangled up there, Carter and Marshall.
Yeah, they were battling down low on the ground, but you see Olivia Miles right here. I mean, she just keeps everyone on their toes. Doesn't hit the shot, but the way she can dance and get to the rim is pretty spectacular.
Miles got a breather around the end of this third quarter. Been 3 minutes since Georgia Tech's scored in this game. Notre Dame has the last 8 points. Great hands by Westbeld. Not able to keep it in bounds, but the deflection gives it back to Georgia Tech with 15 to shoot.
It does, and it seems like Westbeld has come alive in this third quarter, getting deflections, making some nice passes, and scoring the basketball for Notre Dame.
Fake countdown from the crowd. Not sure if that's why Cam Swartz shot it, but in good position for the rebound. Won Adanaz lays it in on the stick back.
And Won Adanaz is getting hyped up, telling her teammates to get some more energy, continue to fight in this game. Right now down 19 points.
Minute to play here in this third quarter. Entry fee knocked away. Notre Dame only turned it over twice in the first half. They've given it 4 times in this third quarter. Heck of a hustle play by Adanaz to maintain possession. Jackson's open. Rebound taken by Jenna Brown, but a whistle is going to bring it back. Adanaz continues to battle inside, draws the foul on Bransford.
She is not a player that's going to score a lot of points, but plays solid defense and can rebound the basketball for Georgia Tech. And that's exactly what she's doing tonight, and trying to keep the energy level, keep her teammates engaged in this game. Even though they're down 19, it's still a lot of time.
It's only the 12th total personal foul called on the 2 teams through 3 quarters. I'm not complaining at all, just passing along the information. Second team foul on Notre Dame. And they get the 3rd team foul on the 3rd, and the foul leads to a Carter jumper. Georgia Tech with their 3rd 3 of the game.
And that was a big time shot by Carter. Her shooting has really improved from a season ago. She's become a better 3-point shooter as well as a shooter from 2.
Final seconds of this third quarter. Westbeld, no. Bransford tied up on the rebound as the buzzer sounds. And look, Notre Dame's got a 16-point lead, but for Georgia Tech, they were down 21 not too long ago. Jackets scored the final 5 points of the period. Michael at 8 p.m.
Oh, that's going to be a great battle, and I know they are happy, UNC, that they have Utsby back tonight. One of my favorite players in the league, and is just an all-around player for UNC, but that's going to be a game to watch at 8 o'clock.
I know Tabitha Turner is the president of the USP fan club. Are you the vice president?
I might be. I might be with Tab. I'm a fan. I've seen her play on several occasions, and she's impressive.
Great block by Hermosa inside, and Georgia Tech has scored the last 5 points in this game, and they're going to have a chance to strike first in the fourth by getting that defensive stop to start the period.
Well, that's what they need to do, continue the momentum they have finishing the third quarter, still down 16 in this game. But it's still a lot of time in this fourth quarter. They have to have a better showing than they did in the third.
Cam Swartz, tough shot, goes for the Jackets. All of a sudden, it's a 14-point game.
That's crazy. That's probably the toughest shot she's had all game long, and she makes that one.
You're right. It's hard to understand. Irish to answer. It's Prosper from beyond the arc.
And that was a nice shot by the freshman. Coach Ivey very high on Prosper, giving her more minutes as the season has progressed. But she looked good on that three-point shot.
6 points tonight for Prosper. Up and under. Carter. Nice move.
And Carter can be impressive, too. Improved her shooting, hit a three at the end of the third quarter, but that was a nice reverse layup by the junior.
Westbeld off the back iron and swooping in for the rebound. Prosper, because she's just so long and brings so much energy to this team. And another shot clock issue as the clock did not reset to 20, instead went to 30. Here's the thing I never understand about these situations as we look at this highlight. Notre Dame has to inbound the ball now. I mean, technically, could be a 5 count. Shouldn't they just pick up where they left off?
I agree with you. They should, but just not how the game of basketball goes. You got to take it out of bounds and get it in.
Especially in late game situations. It's something I've never understood. A clock error, you have it in the game, and
right.
No, now you got to inbound it. But inbounding is a different thing than having the ball in the flow of the play.
Should be like 21, check ball up top.
Right, you should. Westbeld's going to get free throws here. Foul going on Carter. Maddy Westbeld would need an incredible fourth quarter to surpass the 1,000-point plateau for her career tonight. But if she doesn't get it tonight, it's a good chance she'll get to 1,000 on Sunday at Louisville, and if not, then
ACC tournament.
Definitely in Greensboro next week. Began the night 21 points away. Maddy, after that free throw, is now 13 points away. Make it 12. 9 in the game from Maddy Westbeld. 60-43 Notre Dame.
Notre Dame goes back to this man-to-man defense. Swarming defense by Citron on Swartz.
Adenaz missed it. And loose ball just finds Jackson to the perimeter, and she can't keep it in bounds. And a foot on the sideline.
Yeah, she tried to keep her balance. Great hustle to try and get that save. Unfortunately, she was on the line.
Westbeld feeding the post. Ebo kicks it for Miles. Reposts in a great spot. And a rare miss when Ebo's that close to the basket.
Right, she got the position and it was calling for it. Miles gave it to her, but just couldn't finish.
Oh, great defense by Citron. Hustling to the floor to steal it from Swartz. Miles to Prosper, in and out. And it's an offensive foul on Ebo in the rebound action, colliding with Adenaz.
I mean, that was a zip pass by Olivia Miles. Prosper just couldn't finish at the rim. But when you see this, Swartz tries to go behind her back. That's a no-no. Citron was sitting on that hand and was ready to steal the basketball, gets it. And you see Olivia Miles, what a dime pass. Prosper just couldn't finish at the rim. We We talked about it. With the misses that Notre Dame's had at the rim tonight, Olivia Miles would easily have double figures in assists already in this game.
Feels like it. Well,
bad pass by Jackson.
Not going to help the Yellow Jackets' cause against the number 10 team in the country on the road.
Right. You can't, at least it wasn't a live ball turnover. It went out of bounds, so Notre Dame had to take it out. But you can't have those turnovers in the fourth. They are so costly.
Nell Fortner, 8 and 11 against ranked opponents as the coach at Georgia Tech. Fans did not like the call.
Neither did Coach Ivy.
Tierra Cruz will consult with Mark Resch, and now it's Irish basketball.
They just had to have a little conference, but that was the right call. It went out of bounds on Hermosa.
7 minutes to play in 3 seconds. And we got a foul before the inbounds against Georgia Tech. Second of the game on Tony Morgan. I beg your pardon, that's just her first.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Another call.
Some idiot announcer had to mention the very few fouls that we had seen through 3 quarters. That guy.
That we've seen 2 in
That guy.
1 possession.
Miles kicks it. Westbeld feeds the post. Watson rejected by Hermosa.
And Hermosa's a capable defender. We said it. She played along Lorella Kubai for 3 seasons, but just hadn't had the type of defensive ability this season, especially blocking shots, like she's had in the past.
Tough shot for Westbeld was short, and another foul against Georgia Tech.
Man, Coach Fortner just didn't even know. She just throws her hands up. Like, I don't know what to tell you. The refs are calling it really tight on this end.
On this possession.
On this possession.
2 on Hermosa for the game. 14 fouls in the quarter. Westbeld now with 11 points tonight and 990 for her career. Georgia Tech shooting 41% from the floor for the game, but just 3 of 17 from deep.
I don't even see how Tony Morgan made that pass.
Jackson beats the buzzer from downtown over the extended arms of Citron.
That was big time. The swing pass by Tony Morgan, or the skip, and then Georgia Tech's able to get it to Jackson, who's able to knock down the 3 at the buzzer.
Watson doubled on the block. Pass comes right back to her. So she'll says, let's take the 2.
Let me just score it myself and see what I can do with it. I've been pretty good at this tonight. Watson has been active. That was a great reverse move underneath the basket.
She had 15 in the win over Syracuse on her 21st birthday. She had 20 against Louisville on 8 for 8 shooting. Tonight, Kylee Watson's 5 for 8 with 12 points, 8 boards. Miles with another steal. This one was a gift. Morgan tries to slow her down. Miles gets a little fancy, and a pushing foul called on Miles as Morgan hit the deck.
And Morgan took a hard hit.
They didn't call it on Miles, actually. They called it on KK Bransford, colliding into her. Take a look.
And you see right here, Miles gets the steal. Morgan does a great job getting back and forcing Miles to pass it. And Bransford, it was like
KK is like that gunner on the punt team that got blocked into the punt returner,
right,
because she collided with Carter initially, and Carter's little nudge helped to create the collision.
There was a lot of bumping in there, a lot of bumping around.
Midway through the fourth, Notre Dame still comfortably up by 18. And another bad pass. Georgia Tech coming undone a little bit here.
They are just making passes to players who aren't even open, but great anticipation by Notre Dame because they're reading Georgia Tech's passes. They're one step ahead to get those steals.
Double-digit steals now on the night. Jackets have turned it over 5 times in the last 4-10. If you love palindromes, savor the moment. 64-46.
The $20 Little Big Meal is back at the
Kylee Watson offensive surge continues for Notre Dame. Double figures tonight for the 3rd time in her last 4 ball games, Fallon.
Oh, she's been impressive, and I think it's just her aggressiveness. She started out from the gate in the first half, just attacking Georgia Tech, getting to the rim. Nice spin move on that last possession. But she has been very crafty in the paint, just like this move right here with the reverse layup. She has been able to score for Notre Dame and give them a great post presence down low.
2 rebounds away from potentially securing her first double-double of the season. Meanwhile, Olivia Miles, 3 rebounds away from the double-double as well. Irish overall as a team are +9 on the glass. They've also got 15 assists compared to 8 turnovers.
And that's the way to be a well-balanced team and to get a win. I mean, it's not one player that's scoring 20, 25 points for Notre Dame. This team is balanced, and it's all anchored by Olivia Miles' play, how she can facilitate, keep her teammates involved, give them nice looks. And when they play hard and when they're on a mission, they're tough to beat.
Miles at the line, her 11th point. Didn't take a lot of time to think about it when she's got the ball at the line. She just throws it in.
She does.
12 and 7 and 4 for Olivia Miles. And a foul at the other end will send Georgia Tech to the free throw line.
Yeah, you can't foul a jump shooter. Tony Morgan got up on that jump shot and was able to draw the foul. Quiet this crowd down a little bit and see if she can score or knock down her free throws with the clock stop.
Tony Morgan. I think she's got a spot on the ACC all-freshman team.
Definitely. When you talk about Tanaya Latson naming the award after her, she's one of the rare freshmen that was able to get ACC Rookie of the Week 2 times.
Yeah, Latson had a stranglehold on it. Notre Dame pulling away.
They are. That was a nice pick and roll. Citron making that nice pass. And the finish by Marshall.
Morgan is, in fact, the only freshman in the league that has multiple Freshman of the Week awards aside from Latson. Other freshmen who have won it include BC's Tiana Mayer, North Carolina's Paulina Paris, and North Carolina's Kayla McPherson. See Paris and McPherson, along with the return of Alyssa Usby and Eva Hodgson to Courtney Benghart's lineup, coming up after we're done here in South Bend with Tom and Tabitha in Chapel Hill. There are only, sorry, Fallon, there are only 2 senior nights in the league tonight, and they are here and in Chapel Hill.
Well, those are big-time games, and you know the emotion's going to be high, especially for UNC, and to get teammates back into the lineup.
Oh, that's cruel. Cam Swartz was dusted on the floor, and Sonia Citron pays it off with a swish.
She does, and I think she looked down for a second before she stepped back to release that 3. Sonia Citron, pretty quiet, but she's not when she's scoring the basketball.
Carter with her second 3 to answer. But 71-49, still a 22-point lead for Notre Dame.
And it's looking like they're going to probably close this game out with around 3 minutes left if they can continue to hold on.
Miles finds the ball again, and she'll get 2 more free throws 3 minutes and 1 second remaining in regulation.
And look at her just giving her body up for that offensive rebound. Doesn't get the ball to fall. But Citron's right there. Swartz gets caught up, trips. Citron's like, let me step it back behind this three-point line, and swish, the knockdown. And Olivia Miles, she just is not, she's fearless going into the paint, gets the offensive board and gets fouled and is at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Eyebrow-raising score at the bottom of the screen there. Tennessee by 5 over South Carolina.
South Carolina has had some matches. They were held to the wire against Ole Miss on Sunday. That was a good battle, winning to overtime.
Yeah. Super Bowl Sunday showdown against LSU didn't really live up to the hype, though.
It didn't. I was watching.
Gamecocks jumped in front 18-2 there. Swartz swatted mercilessly by Marshall. Oh, my.
Man, and then gives the mean mug, like, not in my house, not tonight, not on senior night.
This was cruel part 2. Swartz, undeterred, knocks down the 3.
And that's what shooters do. Shooters keep shooting. Swartz can't get too high or too low, and she's able to knock down a big 3 for Georgia Tech.
9 points now for Cam Swartz. That is a heck of a shot from a veteran player. Cam Swartz playing her 117th college basketball game today, over 1,400 points. Her career between BC and Georgia Tech, and Marietta, Georgia native.
Yeah, who wanted to go back to Atlanta, transferred from BC because she wanted to play her last season at home in front of her friends and family. And I think her teammates, they love playing with her. I know Carter talks about going into the gym late nights and shooting with her to improve her shot, and we see the improvement in Carter's shot, knocking down a couple of 3s tonight.
Shot clock at 4 here as Brown gets it in. Marshall recovers in the corner, and that's going to be a shot clock violation for just the 9th Notre Dame turnover of the night. We should mention, Fallon, if Notre Dame and Duke both win their last 2 games, they'll finish tied for first, share the regular season title. Duke won the only regular season meeting, so in that event, Duke would be the 1 seed in the ACC tournament. Notre Dame would be the 2 seed. But Duke has a feisty Wolfpack team tonight, and then maybe an even feistier Tar Heel team on Sunday in a game we'll have for you on our regional sports networks at high noon. And Notre Dame's playing Louisville also at noon on Sunday. So those 2 games will be going simultaneously on the final day of the regular season for a little drama as KK Bransford with a little cherry on the Sunday there for Notre Dame.
I mean, when you think about Duke's remaining schedule, having to play 2 teams within the triangle in UNC and NC State, those games are big-time rivalries, always big. And a rematch between Notre Dame and Louisville. Louisville had a tough loss here at South Bend against Notre Dame with the game-winning shot that Olivia Miles was able to knock down. So I know they're hungry for that rematch, especially at home.
There's the Blue Cross Blue Shield remaining schedule for the Fighting Irish. From the Duke perspective, you mentioned the Wolfpack and the Tar Heels. NC State, the 3-time reigning ACC tournament champion. North Carolina, long article came out about the Tar Heels and the Athletic, about the bond between the junior class that came in, Brittany Banghart's first full recruiting class together, about trying to win an ACC championship. That's now out of reach, but what they can do is prevent the Duke Blue Devils from winning a championship. And I don't know if you've heard, but there's a bit of a historic rivalry between North Carolina and Duke.
Really?
Yeah, the schools are pretty closely located geographically.
Yeah, that's always a big matchup, and what Coach Banghart has been able to do in bringing that nucleus in of that junior group when you have Utsby, Deja Kelly, as well as Kennedy Todd Williams. It's an amazing group of players, and they have just exceeded the limit or the expectations of what they wanted or what they expected for UNC.
Ebo to the line. Carter just picked up her 4th foul. Ebo trying to become the 6th different Notre Dame player in double figures. She's got 7 points now, so she needs something beyond this. She's got 8, but 5 Fighting Irish in double figures is the first time in ACC play this year Notre Dame's done that. Balanced scoring. Miles with 13 leads the way. Watson does have the double-double with 12 and 10. Air ball from Swartz. Athletic save from Raven Boswell. Playing in her first game since December 21st. And yikes, Swartz, a hard landing there, holding that left leg. Not what you want to see in a 24-point game with 45 seconds to go, or ever.
You don't.
But especially now. Hopefully she's all right.
She's in tears. I mean, she's taken some hard falls in this game. Her body's been through a lot. When you talk about the number of games that she's played in her career, she's just tough. She's a tough player. Gets right back up.
Wow, stay in the game too, and you know, she had a heart issue that she overcame to keep playing college ball. Hard hit
by Ebo, who is strong.
The play is under
and
review for potential
that
upgrade.
paint. And Swartz went in aggressively trying to draw the foul, does it, but takes a hard fall in the process, and now the refs are looking at it to see if it's an intentional foul.
Feels academic at this point with 45 seconds to go, but it did look like a unnecessary collision with the head. So would not be surprised at all if this gets upgraded and Swartz gets 2 free throws and Georgia Tech keeps the ball.
The play stands as a common foul, 2 free throws.
I think they're calling it a common foul.
I think they are. I mean, it looked like after Ebo was swatting for the shot, her body turned and her elbow may have come close to Swartz's face, but it didn't look intentional. It just looked like a hard foul. He knocks down the free throw, limping a bit, but it just goes to Cameron Swartz's toughness, what she brings to this Georgia Tech team, and how important of a leader she is for this team.
Timeout called as Ebo secures the rebound. And here comes Sarah Cernugel, junior walk-on from Westmont, Illinois, making her 11th appearance of the season, as Lauren Ebo gets a curtain call here at Purcell Pavilion.
And that's great when you can have that happen for you on your senior day, to get that round of applause of what you mean to this program and what you brought to this team. Lauren Ebo has been stellar since she transferred from Texas.
No good for a walk-on to have her moment. 30 seconds to go. Notre Dame going to win their 5th straight, heading into the Louisville finale on Sunday in the Derby City. And the Irish have it with the shot clock off. This is going to be Notre Dame's 13th win of the year by at least 20. The Irish improved to 23-4. And they've got a regular season ACC title in sight, heading into the final day of the season. Irish win it 76-53 over Georgia Tech. And the 10th ranked Fighting Irish finish the regular season 13-2 here at Purcell Pavilion. Of course, they ambition and fully expect to have NCAA tournament games here in March.